My glasses are gone. Where'd they go? What? You're not in the room either. What is? Oh, this... No, wait,
Is
guys.
everything just breaking?
No, that's not true. Wait, say some words again, real quick.
Hello, hello, hello.
Well, people can hear you at least. Oh, everybody, don't watch this right now, please. What happened? Where did my glasses go? I can't see a thing. Where? Why are they gone? Where do
Oh
they
my goodness.
go? Hi everyone. Just a second. Why? This has nothing to do with why we're starting late. That is a mere coincidence that things are broken still. We would never not be professional. How are you doing, Zyga?
I'm doing wonderful. Doing
It's
wonderful.
if there's no glasses. Found them.
Doing
Let's see if I can
just got
find
out of
them.
a raid, so that was fun.
Right, right. You said that was for Final Fantasy
Yes.
Bahamut Super
Yeah,
Duper or something.
I've been doing a UCOB, the unending coil of Bahamut with my
Okay.
static.
Oops.
And we got to phase 3 for the first time today. Like literally like 5 seconds ago. So I'm really happy.
That sounds
In a really good
really cool.
mood. So
Neat. I'm so happy for you. I'm really listening closely.
oh yeah,
Okay.
it is a lot of fun. It's I'm doing it as Dark Knight and it's so much fun.
That's good. So you're tanking then.
Yeah.
I know that much about Dark Knight, I guess. Is it a fun
I
class, I guess?
oh yeah, I really like it. It's my favorite tank.
Okay.
It's my second favorite class. Well, I think actually it's starting to become my first favorite class.
That is very good.
What's the
It's
matter?
it's fine. Nothing's wrong. We're everything. Everything is as it
Uh,
should be.
are,
Nobody.
are you sure?
It's totally fine.
Are you sure?
Oh, probably. We'll find out later if it's not fine. I'm just okay. I'm here. I'm present. I'm in the moment. I see Lala and Generosity and Smo are already here, and they're saying nothing but nice things, I'm sure. They would never be mean to us. Generosity
Well,
says good luck with Unending.
yeah, it's thank you. It's rough.
Yeah.
But it's really fun. I'd recommend it if you ever had a group.
Yeah, there you go. Just gotta
It'll
get good.
it'll improve you so much as a player. At least for me, it's really improving me as a player.
I mean, I guess it'd have to, because like it's designed to be maximally difficult even with the best possible gear at that cap, right?
Yeah,
So it is
like
technically possible, but you just have to really know what you're up to.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Like you can't even like the DPS checks aren't really bad,
Mm-hmm.
but any bad anymore because of the current gear. But everything still hits really hard.
Well,
But anyway, how have you been? How have you been? How have you been?
I was doing really good until like 5 minutes ago. Now somehow the crushing weight of the universe is upon me. It's no, it's have been pretty good. It's the week has been pretty good for me so far. Pretty pretty chill. So I can make no complaints. I even watched anime this week. You'd be so proud of me.
You did?
I watched even more anime than I watched the last time we did this podcast.
Really?
I watched 4 episodes of a show.
Oh my gosh, what show? I need to know.
It was called uh, Farm farming life in another world or something like that. It's a new one that's airing currently.
Okay.
I think it's only like episode. I watched the first 4 episodes of it, and I liked it. It's exactly what you'd expect out of a slow life isekai, which is just it's really stupid.
Yeah.
It's fun. The cast is pretty good. The comedy's there. Um, it's one of those shows where like it's not really a harem show, but there's a suspiciously like the cast seems to be suspiciously mostly female.
Yeah.
And as far as like the male characters, the main character is the only one that's like young and attractive. So there's kind of like a it's one of those, but
Yeah. Okay.
but I mean
Okay.
it's pretty funny. Like he's isekai'd into a world with a magical hoe that allows him to basically make food out of nothing, and so he becomes a farmer. And of course, he's the greatest farmer that ever were, and then everyone's flocking to live with him because of
Yeah.
reasons. But I don't know. It's fun though.
Interesting.
It's
I
like
never really I never really checked out that one.
yeah, I mean
Maybe I'll have to.
I like it because it's a slow life, which means just the conflict is mostly just like every episode they encounter like a life problem, and they work together to solve it through friendship and really overpowered magical items. Um, but, so I don't know, it's fun though. And it's fairly wholesome, all things considered. Like I don't know, it's not like super fan servicey or anything.
Yeah.
So yeah,
But the fan service is what makes it good.
I mean, sure. I mean, I guess it's kind of a. I guess you could say it's kind of a different sort of fan service in the sense of because I mean the general theme with a lot of soul lives is how horrible and miserable it is to live in Japan, like modern day Japan. And so it becomes kind of this fan servicey thing of like, oh, imagine just like a life where everyone's nice to you and you are good at everything you need to do, and there's like no burdens. Like so, I don't know,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It's fun. It's relaxing because it's a farming show, which I don't think there's too many of those except maybe this. I think Silver Spoon had an anime, right? Am I crazy?
Yeah, that had anime.
Yeah.
It's a
So
pretty good anime.
yeah. So there you go. There's been a handful of farming shows, but it's definitely not like a broad genre.
Yeah.
Lawless is Animal Crossing. I mean, kind of. Except, well, no, yeah, I mean, there are some other humans though. It's another one where like it's the variety of waifus in the show are plentiful for every taste. So one of those things. But
Well, while you did that,
yeah, what were you
I've
up
been
to?
like I've been like binging manga for the past like
What
week and a
manga?
half.
That doesn't
Yeah,
sound
manga.
right.
And I'm still on that romance kick
Yeah,
that I talked about last time.
but February's over.
Except I've been watching like the like like reading the like really sappy ones, like the really
Oh boy,
like shoujo ones.
like the kinds of ones they make fun of in other manga. like
Sometimes, yes.
like what's the this like this really sappy one that's in Irumakun Demon School.
Yeah.
But yeah, so but you've been enjoying those?
Oh yeah, I've been like eating them up.
Yeah.
And I've also been like reading some like more like adult oriented like um romance ones, which have
Okay.
been really good. Like kind of like josei uh type
Okay. So
series,
sure. So like
which have been really good too.
It's like basically like romance series like actually meant for adults, not just like the ones that are like
Yeah.
for tweens and such.
Yeah, I was kind of like switching off between the two,
Okay, fair, fair.
and I've read some really good ones and some very mid ones, but overall, like I've had so much fun reading them. I don't know why I just like got into manga really fast, but I just like fell right into it.
I mean, it's a rabbit hole once you because you read one and you're like, oh well, I mean, the author also like wrote this, this, and this. I well, at least take a peek at
Yeah,
it
yeah,
and
yeah. That's what I did.
yeah.
Is because like I really liked this one art style for this one anime. This one manga. The author is called Niki Asada.
Okay.
She did the art for Hibike Euphonium. I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's like the band, like the high school band one.
Yeah.
The girl that
Eh,
plays the euphonium, which I'd never heard of until that show.
Yeah, and then I like read one of her works and I was like, "Oh, that was really cute." So I was like, "I want to see more." The one that I read was like called the springtime of my life began with you. I believe that's what it's
Wow,
called.
that is the sappiest title ever.
Yeah. No, right. But it was very wholesome. It was very wholesome.
That's cool.
And then I read some of her other works too, and had a lot of fun with that. A lot of fun with those.
Nice, nice.
So yeah, that's about all I've been doing. I watched some other anime, just like caught up on stuff, but you know, the usual.
That's good. Living life to the fullest, I see.
Yes,
That's good.
as always. And of course, studying Japanese. That's like all I've been doing in my
Whoa.
spare time as well.
You're one of them Mankyos? Mankyo
Yes, I'm
Satos?
one of those Spankyo people.
Wow. Gonna be N1 by the end of the year?
I am not you.
No, it's a
This
very
is-
realistic goal.
so everyone doesn't know this, but back when we did the other podcast,
Yeah, I had a really
um,
reasonable New Year's resolution. What's up?
yeah, we like got together and we were talking about like I think it was winter, I think it was 2020 or something like that, and we were talking about New Year's resolutions, and you were like, "I'm gonna get N1 by the end of the year," and then a year, and then like every like few months or so, I was always like, "So how's that N1 coming?"
Yeah, it's coming along great as far as you know. But
Yeah, it was a fun little joke.
yeah, and I guess for those who don't know, like the Japanese language proficiency test you can take as part of like certifications and things is ranked from 5 to 1, one being the highest in proficiency. And so I started that year probably being like an N4, for to be complete, at least like reading skill wise, like N4.
Like me?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think I'm around like a N5, N4. If I, because there's a lot of the N5 that I don't really that I think I know, but the main problem is the kanji for me.
Mm,
I'm like really bad at memorizing kanji.
yeah, yeah. Kanji is hard for me. Like I can hold on to it, but I have to be studying it every single day. Like if I break the streak, it's just like it all leaves, and I'm like back to square one. It's it's so hard to retain it for some reason.
Yeah, no, that's understandable. I am exactly the same way. So I'm gonna try and get better at that. I've been trying to get better at that by reading. So I've like I went around and I bought some more like Japanese manga and some Japanese light novels.
Ooh,
Just
excellent
kind of like
choice.
some just kind of like some basic ones.
Mm-hmm.
Um Nothing too crazy. I I bought the the anime that we were talking about last time, the Angel Next Door spoils me rotten.
Oh yeah, yeah. She was one of your waifus.
Yeah, one of the waifus that I had. I bought that manga in Japanese. At least I think I got it. I should check my email really quick.
You,
Oh no, I didn't get it.
how did you wait? What do you mean?
Oh, I didn't get it because I like a bid on it.
Oh, right. You found that auction site.
Yeah, I
It
found
looks
that
sketchy,
auction
but is
site.
actually legit.
Oh wow, someone like
Did somebody really want it? Like,
yeah, someone really wanted it. It like by the time like I bid on it, it
mm,
was like 2,500 yen,
mm-hmm,
something like that, or 3,500 yen. Looks
mm-hmm.
like it ended on like 8,500 yen.
Somebody was like, "I want
So
these mangas.
yes.
Gimme."
Well, looks like I'm gonna have to search for another thing.
Uh,
Anyway,
that's part of the fun of bidding.
yeah, that is part of the fun.
but,
Anyway,
but yeah, and I
uh,
guess actually, how are folks in the chats doing? By the way,
yeah.
like, might as well try to talk with you all a little bit. But see, okay, but yeah. So I think what's today? We're talking about uh the the reverse waifu. I think, right? Reverse
Reverse
waifu.
wife.
The what would you call it? The other side of the waifu, like
The
husbando.
husbando.
Which I still, I get it, but like for somehow like husbando doesn't roll off the tongue the same way waifu does, which is a shame. But I don't
Yeah, it
know.
doesn't.
I don't know what you call it because what would it be like in Japanese? Would be like danna or like
Someone.
what are other words? I don't know. There's not as a good cutesy word in the same way that waifu has. I mean, waifu is just Japanglish, but
Yeah, it is.
Lala's
I
doing what?
well, you continue.
No, I saw Lala's doing all right. Finished 5.4 yesterday, and it started 5.5,
Oh,
but also
not
got
bad.
distracted playing Breath of the Wild, which is fair.
Yeah, that's a time sink of a game.
I yeah, I never played a lot of it, but I mean, it sure does seem like a fun one.
Yeah.
That's definitely a game where there's just way too much to do. So, alas, yeah. So, Husbandos is the discussion of topic today. Um, I feel like with waifus, should we start off with like what are we defining as a potential husbando? When we seek one out,
Oh
what are
yeah.
we looking for? Zyga-sama.
Um, at least for me, when I like thought of it, um, I was more thinking of just like character wise, like how much I enjoyed that as a character, the
Okay,
guy as a character, and uh,
it's like purely like in an entertainment value kind of sense,
yeah,
or like
kind of an entertainment value.
okay, sure, like
Not like someone that I would like marry or anything like that, or like anything like that.
sure, but like
It's more,
like somebody like you'd want to hang with, kind of, or
yeah,
like
kind of, yeah.
okay, very good, very
What
good.
what about you? Is that kind of like what you're around like what you were thinking as well?
Right, I guess for me, I was definitely looking at um yeah, characters I generally enjoy, like I have a very like positive impression of, and then yeah, like somebody that is likable. Because I mean, there's a lot of characters that are really fun, but also like I would not want to hang out with them. Like, it's like yeah, I have a lot of like just kind of like likable people, and I
Yeah.
for the sake of husbando, I was trying to find some handsome fellas that have dashing good looks and whatever. But
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll find out how good a judge of that I am as we discuss these. But
I'm very curious about what yours are.
yeah, I mean, and it was interesting. Like I tended to. Oh, that was what I. Well, oh well. I tended to. I was picking a lot from shows I've seen more recently, which I guess, and maybe part of that is because I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, that seemed to be the thing. I have a couple of characters from older shows as well, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of a fun thing to think about because, and then the other thing is like, is a lot of it is like in the moment of like watching a show, I was like, this character is really cool. But then like if I don't ever make any way like writing down characters specifically. So I was trying to remember like what are like some really good characters that would be on like be good for this list. It's kind of a
Yeah.
struggle for a little bit, but
Yeah, that's understandable. Like there could just be like was kind of hard for me too because I was like searching through mine going like, should I appeal this one? Should I not? It was kind of a hard choice for me sometimes.
right.
Some of them.
It also made me realize like a lot of the shows I really love, the the male main character tends to be punk or a doormat or like it's. I mean, maybe it's because I watch a lot of rom coms and isekais where the male character kind of just is bland or sucky. But
Yeah.
that's maybe my fault.
Yeah, that's the problem with some romantic comedies and stuff. It's really hard sometimes I feel like to find a good one for good male character in some of those.
Right. Well, I think it comes down to probably like they always try to write the MC to either be like, I mean, they try to make him basically like be like super bland and generic so that people can like they can like self insert themselves as that character kind of. It feels
Yeah.
like, which I kind of get it, but it's also it feels like a missed opportunity sometimes because because what's his name from like Monogatari, um
Araragi.
Araragi, yeah, like he's an amazing MC for that show.
Oh yeah.
Like he has just like every bit as much personality as the girls do, and the show is so much better for it.
Yeah, if only there was more characters like him.
And I still feel like he's relatable in the sense of like I don't know, like there's aspects that I think maybe we're not there's not many people exactly like him, hopefully, because he's also has some questionable things. But I think we all
Yeah.
kind of we all aspire to be like because he always like he'll step up to the plate whenever the going gets tough, and I think we all kind of have the like I would definitely do that if that was in that situation, like.
Yeah.
But
Definitely.
yeah, for most rom com shows, the MC is just like either just like success falls in their lap or they they somehow succeed despite endless failure. Like it's like a weird thing
I
where it's
think
like,
there wasn't there a recent trope where it was just like they started to do like with the romantic comedies, like make the main character more like stoic and I don't care as much.
yeah,
Kind of like
that's
with uh I don't know if Hagenai did that.
Haganai. Like Haganai is interesting in that like a lot of that show is very much anti harem and like it's very that show is like very subversive in that um the MC is very like generic and standoffish,
Yeah.
but like as the show progresses, you kind of like learn more about why he behaves that way. So it's kind of like I mean, it definitely is like an example of like when that's always the other thing like the MC is always like incredibly clueless, right? About
Yeah.
no one likes me, but somehow these 12 people keep following me around everywhere. Like somehow
Yeah, that's why sometimes like those shows could just get on my nerves. is when the romance like doesn't really like progress because the main character is very dense. That
Yeah,
that's that like loses me really fast.
right. It's one of those things where it's like, it's it's a trope that was funny. Maybe the first couple of times they did that back in the 80s and early 90s. But the way
Yeah.
that like that it's a continued tradition going strong to this day is a problem. And that's probably why good friend, not friend. Oh no, I forgot the guy that wrote like Love Hina and stuff. Like he made a comment,
Akamatsu.
probably yeah, Nakamatsu. That's what it is. He made a comment like back in 2015, basically saying that like harem was dead.
Yeah.
Like it was a genre that was like nobody was innovating in. But,
Yeah, that's true. Though I would say that Nishi Ocean probably innovated in it because that
right.
is technically a harem anime.
I mean, it's definitely the framework of a harem for sure
Yeah.
on the base level. Lala says husband bros. I like that.
But like for you so let's get down right into it.
Right. Yes. Hello.
What is your first one?
My first one.
Yeah.
I should hold on. Let me pull up our handy dandy. How does this work? What is this even gonna? Oh, I should hold on. What is this gonna bring up? Am I gonna be in trouble? We're gonna see what this does. It might kill us all. Nothing happened. Oh, what happened? Oh, too much
What did you
happened.
do?
No, wait. I can fix this. Don't look.
You okay?
It's fighting me. Wait, it's a wild one. Okay, there. I'm just trying to get the browser to fit my window. For some reason, it wasn't ready to fit it. That is what we call good enough. But why is the title in the way? There's no more title. Look at that. Nobody could question that this was a perfect transition. Generous knows what we're talking about. We're talking about husbands. This is very important. And my first husbando. Insert drum roll sound that I should have had on my. Gotta get like a list of like fun, wacky DJ sound effects to play as we go, just so I can annoy you, Zyga. But
Well,
it's
I can't
Ronald.
hear them. Well, I
Huh?
can't hear them.
That's true. You don't get to hear them. That dang it. Anyway,
Ronald.
Ronald McDonald.
Ronald. Wait. What?
No, no, I'm kidding.
I was like, what?
But no. So this is. So let me pull up the anime here just to clear it up. This is from the anime "The Vampire Dies in No Time," which is um, it's a really good. It's kind of like it's like a bromance show basically about Ronald, who is a freelance vampire hunter, and he's the best. He's precious, must be protected. Um, but yeah, he ends up in a situation where he is like basically forced to become partners with the vampire character Draluk. Like Ronald blows up Draluk's house as part like when he's like trying to hunt him,
Yeah.
but then Draluk uses basically sues him and is like, I have to live with you now since you blew up my house. But it's a whole silly thing. Like he's like an immortal vampire that can't like he can die, but he resurrects immediately. And so Ronald is constantly trying to kill him to get him out of his house. But
Okay.
but no, Ronald is great. He's uh he's constantly trying to do the right thing, even though he's like surrounded by imbeciles. And he he's kind like he's a vampire hunter, but he really wants to become an author. Like he always like he like writes in light novels about his life, and like it's like really meta thing of like he's becoming super famous for the stories about his life and his. It's a whole like weird subplot, but it's the best. He's great.
Yeah.
He's also got a dashing smile and sweet silver hair.
Oh, is that where you got your silver hair from?
No, it's unrelated,
Inspiration.
probably. But no, yeah. So I don't know. It's a fun show, and I don't know, Ronald is great. Like I summarized everything about that really terribly, probably.
I think I remember. Wasn't this airing while we were doing the other podcast?
I think so. This was like a 2021. I can't remember what season exactly, but
Yeah,
it's
because
a
that
it's a
premise
really fun
sounds.
show. And
Yeah,
season
that
two, I think,
premise
is
sounds
currently
familiar.
airing, or maybe next season starts. But
Really
yeah, so it's a fun one.
interesting.
Yeah, the vampire dies no time, and Ronald is awesome. So there you go. What for your first one, Dozaiga? And yes,
It
lol,
was.
it is the one where he turns to dust all the time.
It was
He
the one
always
that's
cries
supposed to
out
go away.
"Suna." It's great. It's Japanese for dust. What is the name of your first in?
It's it's the last one that on the thing.
Oh, did you send me a thing?
Yeah,
Oh, hey,
in
you've been
your
sending me things. The very last one.
yeah, the Yuki.
Okay,
Yes,
let me see if this will work. It did. Is this guy? Who is this?
yes. It's
Explain
Yuki
yourself.
Soma. Yuki Soma from Fruits Basket.
Fruits basket. Oh, okay.
No, I decided to choose Yuki from Fruits Basket just because out of all the characters in that show, I really enjoyed his growth and like story more than any of the other characters.
Okay.
Like even more than like Toru. I really enjoyed um just the way how he started in the first season, and then in the second season it felt like we got like so much like deep into his character. He was just so cool, like so interesting.
Okay.
um and then how they resolve him in the final season and how he finds his happiness, it's just like really good, very good character,
Okay.
very good.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I need to finish Fruits Basket because I watched the first season, I believe, of the reboot,
Yeah.
and it was very good. And yeah,
Oh yeah.
at least like from what I've seen of Yuki so far, like he's a pretty good character.
Yeah, I love Fruits Basket. I remember seeing it like back in like 2009, 2010,
Okay.
and like the original series. And I loved it then. And I think I read the manga at some point, but I don't really remember much of it.
Okay.
Um Essentially, for those who don't know on stream, I it's like about a like a girl who starts living with these people who like every time when she like hugs them, they like turn into a zodiac animal.
As you do.
You know, and it's just like a romance and stuff like that. It's really cool. I'd
Okay.
highly recommend it to anyone.
No, yeah, it was good from what I watched, and I definitely want to finish it eventually.
Yeah.
I think it
So
was
that's
only
my
it
first one.
was like 3 seasons, right? I think it was
Yes.
okay.
Like a I think it was like 24, 24, and 13.
Okay, so that's not terribly lengthy for a very good story. So
Yeah.
very manageable. Yeah, okay, that seems like a good choice. Looked very handsome. Got a
Yes.
short tie in that picture, but that's fine. Cool.
All right. What is your next one?
That was a great question. It is apparently that's not right. Oh, it's this one. This is a good choice for me. Good job, me. It's Kong Mei, the famous Chinese
Ming.
general.
Ming.
Yeah,
It's your boy.
it's your boy Kong Ming. Um,
Your boy.
so Paripi Kong Mei or your boy Kong Ming is so good. Um, Isekai Kana. I don't know, like basically the actual historical character of Kome, who was a Chinese general during the Three Kingdoms like warring period. He dies with the wish that he could be reborn in a time of peace, and so he's reborn in modern day Japan, and he becomes a frat boy. He learns to party, and it's great. But he also he he doesn't like fall in love per se, but like he becomes like really like inspired by like this girl who's like an aspiring singer, and so he learns to party for good and for others, and it's the best. But
Yeah.
yeah, he's I don't know. He's just like he's very. I mean, I don't know the historical figure so much, but in the anime, he's like very like loyal and I don't know, he's like always like he's like very wise and strategic. He also knows how to have a good time, which is important. He got a pretty sweet beard as well, so there you go. There's not a lot to say about him, but I really
Yeah.
like him. He's a really fun character, and I would totally party with this guy.
I have to see this show. I've heard so many good things about it.
It's one of those shows like the face value of it sounds like it should be like the stupidest thing, like a 2 out of 10. But
Yeah.
it's just a fun time. Like it's honestly just fun.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
and like I remember we were telling, didn't we like cover this show?
I think when
Like
it was
the
initially announced as to be an anime, I was pumped.
Yeah, you were like freaking out about it as your like weird news thing. And I
Yeah,
was like, why is it called Ya Boy Kami?
right. Well, I think that was the best they could do for the translation because paripi,
Yeah.
paripi, it's like a really hip like I don't know young person way of saying like I have arrived or I'm here. I think like if you
Uh,
watch in Nagatoro, her two friends say paripi all the time whenever they walk in the door.
oh, I need to pay better attention then.
But so it's like a really hip young person thing to say. And so like the channel the like the more accurate translation would be like Kong Ming's arrived or he's here Kong Ming kind of thing. But
Yeah.
because it's like such a hip lingo kind of words like it's your boy Kong Ming. That was what they decided for. But, but no, it's a good time. I mean 8.2. So you know it's people have enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'll have to get it down. I'll have to download it. Watch it.
Yeah. It's worth it. There you go. So that's my next one for Husbando.
Okay, cool, cool, cool.
And
Well, my
then
next one is
just going up from the bottom
the
for you.
yep, the man from Spy X Family. The
Wow.
man, the myth, the legend.
The guy with the gun who looks
Yep,
suspiciously like the
Lloyd
person you
Forger. Yeah.
really similar, but not actually. You're not. No, yeah, you're a character from like Near, right? But anyway,
Yes. But yeah,
the man, the myth, the
Lloyd Forger,
forger.
Twilight. That's what got it.
To be fair,
Now,
very handsome man.
now I chose Twilight because I think that like he's like really funny in the show, as well as just like he's just like the all around badass, kind of like what's his face, John Wick. It's
Sure,
just like
he's the John Wick of anime.
John Wick of anime.
Sure, I'll allow this.
Like always gets it done, always gets the job done. It's the best at the job. And
Right, right.
I'm not gonna give any like manga spoilers or anything like that.
Sure, sure.
But when they go into his backstory in the later chapters,
Mm-hmm.
that's when I like added him to the list
That
because
is fair.
he had a really good backstory, and it just made me like his character even more.
That's totally fair.
So, plus you know how much I love Spy X Family. Like, um, we like I found it before it got super popular.
Now you'd heard about it by like volume 1 or 2, like official
Yeah, I think it was.
translation.
I want to say it was volume one.
So you were in there pretty early, like at least in the West
Yeah,
here. So
so I was really excited about that. And when it came out, I was like freaking out. And when we like found out like who was animating the anime, like I was like freaking out, like even
Right.
more.
They were like, oh, it might actually be good. It's a
Yeah, by an
good
actually really
studio.
good studio, two studios in fact.
Right. And
And
man, it was it a good anime too.
oh yeah, it was like it's gonna go down in history as one of the great ones.
Right.
I just can't wait until they announce season 3. I really hope they do.
Oh, I'm sure it's coming. Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
With how ridiculously popular it was. Plus, the manga is selling like hotcakes. Like, even like internationally. Like, it's.
And
I.
like not only is like Lloyd like the best guy, but he has also has the best wife.
Yeah, yours
And
okay.
your is fantastic.
She's all right.
She's all right. You can't say that to me. This is where you will get knifed and burnt at the stake
It's
by saying
fine. No,
that.
I'm pretty sure she's ranking pretty high on waifu lists this year, so she'll probably be fine.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, there's my next one.
no,
There's my one.
that is an acceptable choice. You may continue on to the next round, Saga. Yeah, I forgot the stakes are that the second you present a bad one, I'm actually going to kick you off the podcast forever.
I mean, you already did a bad one last week
You don't
with Midori.
look. Midori is inspirational. It is a subversive masterpiece for romance anime. You know, your IQ is too small to fathom it, Saga. We're not
Or
gonna.
what is your next one then?
Okay, fine. I'll show you. Um, look,
Well, I'm
starting to,
I'm ready to judge you.
I'm starting to realize like a lot of the characters I picked are like not well known anime, but oops. But it's this is gonna take so Ikiteru Daga. This is from Uramichi Onisan, which is a great show about a bunch of adults who work for a children's TV show, and they're all quietly falling into uh, desperate oblivion, basically. But and it is a fun show about depression and adulthood. It's great. But anyway, Ikitero Daga is the best. He is precious and must be protected. Because like basically he on the show he's a singing Oni-san. Like he does like all like the musical numbers for the show and stuff. And he's basically the only character in the show that's actually like happy. he's he's like fully content with his life. Like I don't know, like I don't know, like he doesn't have like any like big aspirations. Like he's like just genuinely happy being able to sing and have a good time. And basically everyone else in the show kind of hates him for it, for just
Yeah.
being happy. Um, but he's great, and he's also he's super stupid, kind of like he's very
Depends.
literally like he's like super literal. So like he doesn't like understand sarcasm very well. He can't read clocks like other things, and it's but he's great. There's other pictures of him. I don't know if there are many. Yeah, he's just like he always like has like these like nice sweater vests that he wears too. Very styling.
I'm surprised he's so high up on your list.
No, I mean I just
You
like
just enjoy like him every time he comes on the screen.
no, yeah, he's got like I don't know, he's got an attitude that I really vibe with in terms of just like I don't know because everyone else in the show is just like very cynical about the things that have happened to them in life and where they
Yeah.
are, but he's just constantly just like happy about like everything. Like he just really takes everything in stride. Like anytime something terrible happens, like everyone else is like just in a downward spiral about it. But he's like, "Ah, this will be fine. It'll get better." Like, he's like boundlessly optimistic, which is delightful. He's like, it's a very rare kind of character.
You do like your optimistic characters.
I do. And I'm not a big fan of. I mean, honestly, like this is an aside, but like Uramichi Onisan is a great show since like it's like surface level cynical, but it does have like a really nice message underneath about making the best of things. And but anyway, that's the whole other thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ikiteru is just the best. And one of the running gags is like every time like he's like he's always like wandering off into his own world, and the version of reality that he's seeing is like so delightful. Like whenever like you see through his eyes on the show, it's the best. Anyway,
Yeah.
so there you go. It's kind of
Well, neat.
a minor character from a less popular anime, but I liked him.
Yeah, you're all about the less popular animes.
I guess I I like the shows I like, and I usually I don't watch a lot of like really action oriented shows. I've realized, and I also don't watch shows with a lot of drama,
Yeah.
which like action and drama are like the big categories for the most part in anime, like as far as like mainstream anime. So that's like your Attack on Titans and your My Hero Academias and your whatever else. But
Pretty sure some people in the chat will be surprised if I tell them that you haven't seen all of Demon Slayer.
I'm I'm getting around to it. I watched like most of season one,
And then you stopped.
and
And
yeah,
I kept going like, hey, watch Demon Slayer. And then you were like, okay, I will. Then never did.
I got to episode 9. I mean that one I really should finish eventually because it's practically like a cornerstone of anime now. Like with how
It
popular that one
is.
is.
It is.
Basically have to watch in order just to get the context of what everyone else is talking about.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
But
Ruromichi Onisan. I remember you showing me that one.
yeah,
I think.
I think I actually made you watch episode 1, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was a fun show. It was very cynical.
it's incredible. Like, well, yeah, I mean, the main character is so cynical. He's just like, it's I don't know, it it's a rare show that's like really dark but somehow incredibly wholesome at the same time.
Yeah.
It's hard to 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 word it, I guess, but anyhow, that is my third choice.
Nice third choice.
So ready for your next one. That I'm actually excited about this next choice for you. I think you made a real good one here.
Oh, which one was it? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Writer, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So this is one where is he gonna there? Okay, there it is. Took a second.
All right, so for my next one is Writer from Fate Zero.
Right.
Alexander the Great.
Yeah, Fate Zero, well-known show, I believe.
Yes. So the reason why I chose Writer is because like every time he comes on the scene onto the screen, he like steals the show
Oh,
with
he
his
really
charisma.
does.
Yeah.
Like he really is like probably like one of the best characters from Fate Zero. Just in terms of
Yeah.
like the how much he commands presence.
Yeah, one of my favorite scenes of all time is like him, Gilgamesh, and Saber sitting around talking about kings and like what does a king mean and stuff
Oh
like that.
yeah.
And he's just like commanding the entire time, and you could tell like as he like talks and presents himself, this guy is like a leader. This
Right.
guy is definitely Alexander the Great of like what he could have been or something like that.
Right. Definitely
Yeah.
It is one of like the rare characters of like the Fate series in general. Like it feels like the because supposedly they're all historical figures, big
Yeah.
quotation marks. But I feel like Ryder more than a lot of the others really nails the at least like the legendary version of Alexander the Great.
Yeah. So
But
yeah, he and he's really like the interesting dynamic he has with his like master. He's really cool too. Like his master is like very like weak and stuff like that.
right,
And all he does is like kind of like boost his confidence a lot and just like support him.
right.
And it's so interesting seeing their dynamic because they're such polar opposites.
They really and they are, but like they're also like I was always so excited every time there was like it's like it's these two again. Like every time
Yeah.
like it was like especially like the couple of times where like it was an episode just for them. It's like yes.
Yeah.
Like I don't care what other stupid things are happening in the show. I want to watch these two go to the shopping mall.
Yeah. Or sit around and play video games.
Right. So
So, for people that don't know, Fate Zero is the prequel to Fate Stay Night,
right, it's a
and
pretty
it's part of this like giant like Fate franchise. But honestly, like I'm not super into the Fate shows or Fate universe,
right.
anything like that.
It's a monster of a series to get into.
Yeah, it
But
really is. But honestly, you could probably just watch like Fate Stay Night and Fate Zero. Since Fate Zero is a prequel, you can always watch that one first. And
right,
that that series is very good. Fate Zero is like up there on one of the like the great animes. So yeah, it's
right,
about like just this Holy Grail war, which is kind of like a battle royale type thing,
right.
battle royale type show, where the last one standing like wins, and then like different mages summon different uh like what would you call them, historical figures.
Right, yeah,
And
they're basically like spirits brought to the like brought to Earth, kind of, and
yeah, and then the historical figures battle each other out
yeah,
like that,
like
all
it's
while the masters are playing mind games with each other.
right, like it's definitely like the overall concept for the show is really interesting in terms of the possibilities.
Yeah.
Execution has been hit or miss, but I mean, Fate
Yeah.
Zero is a big hit for sure. And I've heard, I haven't seen Fate Stay Night, but I've heard that one is also exceptional.
Yeah. It sounds amazing.
There's a spin-off series I really want to watch that focuses on a writer's master. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I heard about that one.
but and that one sounds really cool because it's basically like a detective show where that kid is like it's like 10 years later for that kid, and he's like trying to solve like this like series of like murders that are happening in a city, and
Hmm.
but I don't know.
All right, well that's my third one.
No, writer is a great choice. I mean, look at that. Look at that sweet beard.
Oh yeah.
He's also got abs on his abs, so there you go. Yeah, so good choice. You survived to the next round. Let me. Where's my? Oh, there's it. Is. Okay. My
So what
next
is
character is
yeah.
also historical, kind of actually. It is Sherlock Holmes. This
Sherlock Holmes.
this isn't cheating at all.
That is
Uh,
cheating.
no, it's not. It's fine. It's an anime. it's so this is from Moriarty the Patriot, which is another anime I really enjoyed. Um, and one of the fun things they did with this show is like, what if we were like, it's fairly accurate to the original novels, at least in so much as like the novels that are involved in the series.
So it is cheating.
But I mean, because it's also like a prequel in ways, because like it's like the origin story for like all the characters of those novels. because and it focuses as more with the villain Moriarty as the main character. It's like his origin story of how he became the king of crime, and then Sherlock Holmes is also there because he's got to be. But it's also I like the show because not because but like it's one of the things they did is like we're like what if just every character in this show is just like super handsome, and so they just like Sherlock is great. Like he's got like really long hair. He's got like tied up in a bun. Which I mean
Yeah.
the man bun I would say is a miss more often than a hit, but Sherlock pulls it off. But I mean he's great. I mean is basically Sherlock Holmes. Like I mean I think most people know the general stylings of Sherlock. He's like very cunning and likes to solve a mystery. And yeah, it was a fun show and Sherlock buddy handsome. So that's my argument.
That's I guess that's an argument
So
or a point.
so yeah, I don't know. That's I really don't have a lot to defend this one except that I really I mean, it's like I really like Sherlock Holmes like as a character in general. And then this was just authentically like a very good anime adaptation. It's got an 8.16. And I think it was like 24 episodes or something like that. Or 11 episodes? That doesn't sound I thought there was more to it. I think it was a split course. I think there was like two parts to it. But no, it was a good time when I was running. I liked it. So
Oh, cool.
there you go. That's what was this
Yeah,
one like number four, I guess? So actually we're on to
I think
your
that was number four ish. Yeah,
yeah, so then which I guess I don't know if we specified we're going from like least to most, right?
yeah,
So okay,
just like last time.
perfect. And then I'll ready for your next one here.
Yes. All right, my next one is Iono Koji.
Who is this guy?
Yes, from Classroom of the Elite.
Oh yeah, I think you mentioned this one to me.
Yes. So he's one of those like extremely interesting protagonists that I wouldn't really call Classroom of the Elite a like harem anime because it's
Okay.
not really. Um, it's mostly just uh like a mind games like show. Like they're in
Like the
this like
movie Mind Games or
no, it's like
okay.
they're in like this school that's very like prestigious and has like so much rules and it's kind of like a dog eat dog world situation
Okay.
where like the people who do well there's like certain like tasks and stuff that they do certain games and whoever else like class like wins on top is like um I forget what they win but
And then the losers die horribly.
yeah and
Wait.
he's like in the like loser class and he's like helping to try and bring them up. But the interesting thing about him is that he's apathetic and shows no emotion at all.
Hmm.
Like a girl could be like laying on top of him and he would still be like no emotion whatsoever. And it's because of like his like upbringing and stuff like that. And his backstory, we don't even know much about it still, and we're in like the second season of it.
Hmm.
But he's just like a fascinating character who like works in the shadows and um has like someone else like taking all of his credit while he just like sits in the shadows and doesn't and like plots everything.
Hmm.
He's just really interesting and is like the highlight of this show.
Okay.
Yeah. He's like type of main character that's like that's done right. Though I think that the anime um, makes him less human because the light novels I read like a little bit of them.
Mm-hmm.
They make him a little bit more human, but in the anime, he's like not human at all.
Hmm. Okay. Well, that feels
like
like that could be a problem, but okay.
like someone could be like getting bullied like right in front of him, and then he would just like do nothing
Hmm.
and use that to his advantage or something like that. Use the knowledge that of the bullying to his advantage.
Super likable guy then.
Yeah, it's interesting. He's interesting. And
Okay.
that's why I chose him for my second one. Just because of like his mysteriousness and just overall like personality, it being different than like anything that I have seen
Hmm.
in shows.
Okay.
So yeah, Classroom
Very,
of the Elite.
fair
I'd
enough.
recommend it.
Okay.
Very good show.
Very, very good. Neat.
And they have like an Among Us like game that they do. Not even joking.
Why not?
it,
So,
it was this like weird moment in season 2. I was like watching it. And I was like, is this Among Us?
like, it's always so weird when like internet culture like pervades into an anime, and you're like, well, wait
Yeah.
a minute.
I'm
It's
like this like a game that they're describing sounds awfully familiar.
right. It's it's like the moment in freaking the detective is already dead
Yeah.
when Fubuki, the VTuber, makes a cameo appearance in the
Oh
show.
really?
Like, and not just like as a cameo, but like she has like a full. Apparently, in that version of the reality, she has a full TV show because she's become so famous and successful.
Really?
Yeah, that's like
That kind of
like a random side thing. Like I think she even voices herself in it's a whole thing. But
dude, that kind of makes me want to watch it now.
yeah, it's like a whole random thing. You're like when it like at first happens, like, oh, is that Fubuki? What the hell? Like,
Wow.
but anyway, um, so okay, so Among Us, that's reason enough to watch right there.
Yeah. Among Us.
You
Among
sold me.
Us.
I wasn't sure if I wanted to watch it, but now that I know there's a sussy baka in the mix, but
Okay, okay.
I don't know.
All right. What is your next one? Your
Okay, this
last
is
one.
my
Is that
last
your
one.
last one?
Is my number five. Apparently, my number one, number five, my fifth one, my fifth. Who is number one? Wait,
Okay.
yes, accurate. Is wrong. This is absolutely cheating, but it's from the Dungeon of Black Company. Yeah, there has to be at least one in every list, right?
What? What?
That is Ranga. Mm,
Manga.
Ranga from. Have you seen? So the Dungeon of Black Company is one of my favorite isekais, but Ranga is a boy who is raised to be a priestess because of dystopian society problems. So
Okay.
so Ranga, I think, because like Ranga was like the only person like in his like city at that point who could use magic. It's like, ah, well, you gotta have the magical items and whatever. Ranga is super funny because he's just the best. He's a he's basically terrible. I mean, because I guess the gist of Dungeon of Black Company is the main character Ninomiya is the worst. He's a scumlord who constantly takes advantage of other people around him to better his own position.
Yeah.
Except it always backfires on him because karma is swift and brutal in the world he lives in. And then Ranga's kind of right up there with being kind of like just terrible, except that he's specifically out to be terrible to Ninomiya. So it's like a great dynamic.
Okay.
But I don't know. I guess he doesn't really have pictures on my anime list, but But I mean, he's basically like the classic. I mean, he's a trap character, right? Is the gist of it.
Okay.
But I don't know, he's super fun. Like he absolutely steals the show. Like once he's introduced into the show, he's
Yeah.
he's very funny. He he's every bit as crappy as Ninomiya is in terms of just. And because this whole show is just like it is just they're all terrible people. It's kind of like Konosuba in that way. They're all just the worst. But
Oh yeah. Comes with
I don't know. He's great. He's got purple hair. It's important.
purple
I don't
hair.
know.
Yeah, purple hair. Good. Interesting. I never thought much about that show.
Right. It's a show that got overlooked. Actually, I bought the manga so I wanted to see because the anime kind of ends on a cliffhanger, and so I have all the manga volumes at least up to the most current they're in English, and it's definitely the manga's better for sure. Like you get a bit more into the backstory of the characters, and I think like Ranga really like. I mean, I don't want to get into spoilers, but like Ranga's like backstory is like really is really fascinating, just in terms of like because Dungeon of Black Company is like one of those like shows that's like way more complex than it should be in terms of like what's
Yeah.
going on in the world. So on the surface, it's an isekai about this scum lord who gets sent to this terrible planet where like he's forced into like become a slave and he, like works his way up from the bottom basically. But I don't know. It's a fun like the and then yeah, Rongo's like the best one for sure.
Okay.
So there
Neat.
you go.
I've never heard really about that one, so I'll have to like check it out.
Yeah, it's another one that didn't really get talked about, which is a shame. I honestly consider it like it's an above average isekai that I think got because I think the first handful of episodes aren't very standout. Like it's the show they have to kind of watch for. It's like watch like halfway into it to really start seeing the nuttiness. But anyway, are you ready for your number one, Zyga?
All right, my number one
Is anybody
is
truly ready for this?
the man, the myth, the legend.
So much text for his character
The
thing.
man,
Cheapers.
the man, the myth, the legend. The one that cannot be beaten.
Hooray! The one that prevents the thumbnail from being clickbait
Yes, Jotaro.
is JoJo. The original.
Yes,
I guess
from
not the original JoJo, or just the. I guess not the original, but
not the original one. He is the main character of part 3.
yeah, there you go.
And what else is there more to say? There isn't anything more to say.
I don't know.
He's like
Where does the
his
hat
hair.
end?
Yeah, where does the hat end and the hair begin? The answer is yes.
Perfect. Hey, this is JoJo. Like, I've never actually seen part 3, but I've seen JoJo like in the other parts that he cameos in at least.
Dude, part three was great. It was fun.
Yeah, because
It
I
was one
think
of the fun parts.
part 6 the newest one, or was part 5 the newest one?
Part 6 was the newest one.
Okay, so I've seen 5 and 6 then.
Yeah.
But
So yeah, Jotaro. There isn't really much to say about him, but it's part of the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure crew as the main protagonist of part 3. He also shows up in part 4 and 5. No, 4 and 6,
right,
I should say.
yeah, I think he's talked about in 5. I don't know if he ever is on screen that I can remember.
Yep, and he has like one of the ultimate stands. He's just an overall just Chad,
Oh yeah,
you know. He's just always cool whenever he appears and whenever he like fights. He's just
mm-hmm.
a cool guy.
Fair, fair.
Yeah. See, I was trying to decide between him or Guts,
Oh, right.
and like, I like both as like a number one.
Sure, sure.
So like, him and Guts to me are like, really good one, really good characters.
And
So
Guts from Berserk,
Guts is
right?
from Berserk, yeah.
Which is an all-time classic of a manga, and averaging out to middling anime adaptations.
Yeah, its original anime adaptation was really good, but then unfortunately it got CGified.
I was gonna say you can tell how bad it was because like that's there's not even an example image from the CG one. One from
Yeah.
the it's got one from the '90s anime. There you go.
Guts is a really great character because like he's like just so like it's been like so traumatized that he just has like that he like became like not human for like a long time, and then he slowly tries is like regaining his humanity over like the manga, and it's a great thing to watch and be a part of, watching his growth and watching him slowly like start to trust people again after some stuff happens. But
Hmm,
yeah,
there you
Berserk,
go.
JoJo's like there isn't really much to say about Jotaro, but you know, I just really like his character design, and just like his stand is really cool. You know,
Yeah, fair
and
enough.
yeah, that's my last one.
I will allow this.
Do you have any honorable mentions yourself?
Sure. I'll throw out. So I got one honorable mention that wasn't quite strong enough to crack the top five, but I really enjoy this character despite his many flaws. Uh,
Okay.
Kyoichi Saionji from Revolutionary Girl Utena. I think you've seen. Have you seen the show, Saiga?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Yeah. So I think. I mean, for people who've seen the show, like Saionji is maybe not one of the most immediately likable characters, considering his introduction in episode one
Yeah.
as being basically the worst. To summarize his character at the beginning.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
but I don't know, like his character development throughout the series is really fascinating, just because of where he does start as being just kind of just irredeemably terrible to like, but then like as the show goes on, you kind of like you start to understand where he's coming from, and and especially like as he like tries to change and be better, like in his own way, kind of
Yeah.
like he does become, I don't know, like I don't know, it's just he's just really interesting. Like, and he's also got green hair, and I like green, but but I don't know, like he's honestly like he's not my favorite character from Utena, but as far as like the, I don't know what they were called, like the like from that group of, I can't remember what they were, they're the duelists, I guess. Like his character arc as one as the duelists go, like, is probably my favorite.
I don't remember much of him, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean
Maybe
he,
it's just because it's been a long time since I watched it tonight.
sure, sure. And yeah, I mean I'd say like he doesn't get as much screen time as a couple of the others. Like maybe like I think like Miki and the main guy, who's never forget, they get a lot of time. The one, I don't know, like, but I don't know. But yeah,
All
so
right.
Sionji is an honorable mention just because I don't know if I'd really want to hang out with this guy per se, because he still has some things he's got to work through. But I respect his hustle, I guess, and how much he does work to improve himself and to kind of make up for what he has done, like in trying to better himself. That's very respectable. And also, I mean, Revolutionary Girl Utena is. I mean, I had to like bring up at least like one character from the show because like it was a good show. Some very handsome characters. Because there's the one character. Um, oh, he's like the ridiculously exaggerated pretty boy.
About that, um,
No.
I the other day was listening to the transformation sequence of that.
Oh yeah.
It's so that's a really good scene. I really like that, and then the music for it too, very good too.
Right. No, I mean the soundtrack for Utena like is such banger music. Like it's like okay, because the transformation sequences are always so good. Is that the wait? Is that like the one where like, she's like climbing the stairs and everything too?
Yes.
Yeah. Zettai unmei
Yeah.
okurioku.
Yeah. That.
That is it's a banger. And I love how they don't do it every time, but a lot of the characters have like their own rendition of that song. It's like they're like slightly different versions will play depending on which character it is, which is really cool. It's a really nice touch. But it's a fun show and there's some good characters in it. It's a classic. So, and I guess just to here, just real quick, just so I don't get yelled at for too much clickbait. So this one. This was the other clickbait character I used in the thumbnail, Sebastian from Black Butler. I mean, probably your probably an all-time classic husbando. So there, he's technically involved in the video. So no clickbait. No one can yell clickbait now. Have you seen Black Butler, Zyga?
Long time ago.
Fair, fair.
Long time ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've actually only seen like maybe like 2 episodes of Black Butler, but I just know that everyone's like, oh, Sebastian Handsome though. It's like the meme practically of that show.
Yeah. It is the meme,
I
and
mean, and that's
I actually could not tell you anything about it because I've forgotten.
I mean, what's his name from Trash Taste basically built his whole career off of pretending to be Sebastian, basically, in his early YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Um,
What's this? Connor.
yeah,
Yeah.
Connor, Sea Dog VA. The original thing he VA'd as was Sebastian, doing like prank calls and stuff. But oh yeah, so Sebastian. Anyway, yeah. So there we go. That's been here officially in the video. I think that pretty much brings an end to our list, right?
Yeah.
We had our top 10 plus a handful of bonuses. So I guess actually maybe just to now Jen Rossi is asking who his top 10 is. He wasn't paying attention, so no bonus points for you, Jen. Let's see if I can successfully navigate. So this was the first one we talked about was Ronaldo. The vampire dies in no time. And then we had wait, was Yuki the first one you talked about?
Yuki
Yeah,
Soma.
yeah, Yuki was the first one you talked about. And then we had Komme from Paripikome, or your boy Kong Ming. And we had Lloyd Forger from Spy Family. An excellent choice. Perhaps the most excellent choice. We had Ikiteru Daga from Uramichi Onisan, an obscure character from an obscure anime. Bonus points to me for being cool, I guess. I don't know. Being a hipster. Then you had Ryder. Very Chad choice from Fate Zero.
Yes.
And then we had. I chose Sherlock Holmes. It still counts because it was an anime. You technically chose Alexander the Great, so I think we're fair. When we get
No,
down
I
to
don't think so. No, no,
I
no.
think it's
No,
equivalent
no.
exchange.
No, it's
Yeah.
not.
Edward Elric approved.
No,
Um,
yours was absolutely cheating.
although I also chose Cole May, who is technically also a historical figure. So anyway, we're gonna go on past that dilemma. And you chose Kiyotaka Ayano Koji
Yes. I am Koji.
from Classroom of the Elite. So good, I assume choice. And I chose Ranga because you have to have a trap on the list. It's required. It's in the contract from Dungeon of Black Company. And then you chose Jotaro because you got to pick at least one waifu for your husbando list, right? Then you had Guts as a bonus, and I lost the one. I was talking about Sayonji from Utena, which oops, that's Ninomiya. Where did that's Sebastian? I think there he is. Anyway, we did it. So we'll leave it on Jotaro because he's handsome and has a hat that might be his hair. Did like the author like progressively like over time just like make it more and more obscure? Because like maybe his original art was just terrible and people couldn't tell. Now he's just like owning it.
Yeah, I don't even know.
I feel like it's such a weird thing to really stick to with the characters. Like is like is it a hat? Is it hair? Is it both? Is it none? Whoa, Lala cosplayed as Sebastian once. Lala, are you the coolest person I know right now? Dang it. I feel like the closer you got to number one, the less pleasant they sounded to hang out with. This is JoJo. He's so cool. He could punch away all your problems probably.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
Guts probably would be kind of a downer to hang out with. I'll admit, but
Yeah, that's fair.
but I don't know. That is essentially the list. Any closing remarks, Iga?
This was pretty hard
Yeah.
to choose. Like I haven't really I don't know. Maybe I would cha- I don't know. I can't really think.
Well, next Valentine's Day we can give an updated list, I guess.
But yeah, that's I can't really think of anything else
Yeah,
to say.
that's fair. I think this was kind of a fun, silly, different thing to do. But I think we probably not going to do another top 10 list of attractive characters next time. Sorry to disappoint. Um, oh, we could do like the top 10 worst mascot characters from shows.
Worst mascot characters.
Yeah, I don't know, but that's the joke. So probably
Good,
won't do
that's good.
that.
Good. Let that be a joke.
Um,
I do not know any mascot characters aside from like Cube.
I was gonna say I would just rail on Cube mostly, and probably Happy from Fairy Tale. Wallace says top 10
Clearly, it's good.
ugliest characters. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that would have been a good point earlier that I saw.
Hmm.
Is that you should make like a maybe like a podcast channel or like something where we like put like what the shows were that we talked about.
Oh yeah, that'd be smart. That definitely could be something we do. And I definitely know how to do such a thing. Why wouldn't
Yeah,
I?
so um, other people can check out the shows that we talk about, stuff like that.
Right, right, right. Yeah. So I mean, this was a different kind of silly thing to do,
Yeah,
but and then yeah, we'll possibly next week, next episode, or week after. I don't. We haven't fully figured out how often we want to do this. We've been doing it every other week so far, I think. I also need to figure out what we're going to do for our next episode.
yeah. Um, I have some ideas that I can bounce off you. Maybe,
Sure, sure.
maybe we could bring back the old favorite,
Yeah,
the unpopular opinions,
the hot takes.
the hot takes.
That could be fun. I think episode one we did a single hot take a piece, right? If I remember right.
Um,
I remember you talking about Cowboy Bebop not being good. I
oh
still need
yeah,
to fight you
I, I,
about
I
that.
didn't say it was not good. I
I
just
think you
said it.
specifically accused everyone who
No,
watched
no,
that
no,
show and
no,
liked
no.
it as being terrible,
No, I
and
never said that. I never said that.
I'm
Stop
pretty
putting
sure
words in my mouth.
you wished ill upon them for enjoying things
No,
that you
no,
don't
no,
like.
no, no, no.
That's definitely how it happened.
No, all I said was that like for me, Cowboy Bebop was like um it was hyped up to me by lots of people and it just didn't meet up the hype that people were telling me about.
Okay, sure, sure.
Yeah. And I never said it was a bad show. It was just not for me. It was just not really me and my show.
That's fair. So it sounds like the next 26 episodes we're going to do episode by episode breakdowns of Cowboy Bebop, where we all force Zyga to like the show. That seems like the best choice here.
Well, let's not.
We'll skip the movie because the movie is just okay. But
Though maybe if I like rewatched it at one point, maybe my opinion on it will change. Would change. I don't
I mean,
know.
maybe. I mean, it's one of those things like it's a foundational show, which is good and bad. Because I mean, like at the time it came out, it was nothing else like it had ever quite existed, which made it incredible at the time. But then every show ever kind of copycatted off of it, so it's I mean, it does make it kind of hard to go back in that sense because you can kind of see a lot of the tropes that it creates. It's kind of like watching Evangelion, honestly, or Evangelion, where it's like at least like the original series, where like you can see like, oh yeah, this is kind of cool, but I feel like I've seen these three characters in every anime in the last 40 years. It's a result of this one. But Lala hasn't seen Cowboy Bebop. Uh, for shame. I don't know. I I don't know. I like Cowboy Bebop. It's definitely not like a. It's not in my top 10. So
Yeah.
I just like to give you a hard time because you're always so relentlessly cruel about my great anime opinions. My my favorite shows.
I, I, I'm not relentless. I don't think I would say that.
You're constantly belittling me.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I think that's fake news.
No, no. I'll make a compilation from our podcast every time you made fun of Siesta. How about that?
See, I don't make fun of Siesta. She just like does it herself. I mean,
She can't do it herself. She's already dead. It's so rude.
what is that?
Huh? You all right? No. I think Zyga died. He's actually gone. It's our podcast now. We can take it back from him. Quick. What do we do? I'm a little concerned about. Are you back?
No, nothing. No.
Like,
Okay, yeah, I'm back.
jeez,
I was,
really,
I was like, I was like looking at something,
that's a really
and something
ominous
surprised
line
me.
to go silent on. I was like, wait, is he actually in trouble? Hold on.
So something like surprised me for a second, and then that I was looking at.
God, that's like the horror movie thing. Like two people on the phone talking, one person's like, "Oh, I think I heard something outside. I'll be back in just a second," and then they never appear again in the movie. Lala is a fan of One Piece. I didn't know this, Lala. I can't believe you've never shared your endless love of One Piece with the class before, or how it's available on the Shonen Jump app for only $2 a month.
I'm actually curious of what Lala's like favorite anime are.
Yeah, this is enough about our podcast. This is the chat's problem now. What about your favorite? Actually, this would be a good question. Like, what's a husbando for y'all's?
Yeah.
Lala says, "Don't be a butthead." I would never. That's so rude. Yeah, actually, I think it's a fair question, but I think it's weird how these always seem to run close to 2 hours. That's kind of a
Yeah,
problem we had
we
with the original podcast too. Is like, oh well, every episode will be like an hour-ish, and then somehow,
well we just like talking about anime all the time.
yes, we. And this kind of is like our. I mean, this podcast is fun, but it is kind of our excuse to be able to talk about anime more together. Anyway, let's be honest.
Yeah.
This is a scheduled time where we can talk about anime. Smo likes Joseph Jojo. I don't.
Joseph
I don't know who.
Joseph Jotaro. Joseph that's the other guy.
See the other guy, of course.
From part two.
Okay,
In part two. He's the
thanks.
main character in part two.
All
And he's
right.
also in part three.
I was gonna call
And
you a
in part
fake JoJo fan for not knowing.
Joseph Joestar. That's his
Joseph
name.
Joestar. Okay, you
I
you
was trying to remember the last name.
you saved it just in time. Lala says Yusuke maybe, like from Yu Yu Hakusho. That'd be a decent choice. Oh, that's right. I was gonna. Oh well, I forgot. I was gonna give a shout out to Kurama, being one of the original pretty boys. But I think I probably liked Kuwabara the best of that in that cast. Or Vash. I assume the Stampede. Be a good choice. Lala loves Yu Yu Hakusho. I think Lala, you have mentioned Yu Yu Hakusho a couple of times. That's how I know we can be friends. Because Yu Yu Hakusho is a great show. Like, I think it still is like my favorite shonen anime. As far as like that genre, you know?
Yeah. Yu Yu Hakusho was really good.
It's honestly exceptional. Like, it's kind of like one of the original shonen too in a way. It was about that same era as like Dragon Ball, so it kind of
Yes.
establishes a lot of the archetypes that would enter the shonen uh, zeitgeist, such as battle tournaments or quartet of villains appears that must be defeated by quartet of heroes. Like, well, it has both the anime and manga. I would love to get the manga for Yu Yu Hakusho. I read the manga a while ago. I would love to get like physical copies of it. I think that'd be a really fun thing to have. Smo likes Reagan from Mob Psycho. Honestly, Reagan is not a bad choice for a husbando. Like, I mean, like, actually, Zyga, quick question for you.
Mm.
Do you consider Reagan a swindler? Like, is he a scam artist in your mind? Like, I'm
Uh
so unsure. Like,
I don't know. In some ways, yes, yes. I'd say yes.
Because like he's absolutely like he doesn't like I don't know like he plays into people's fears, but he does actually help them in the end. So does that balance out? Is he a good person? Like I don't. I mean,
It's so hard to say.
I get there's so many times where like I go back and forth on like I think he's generally not a bad person, like because he definitely like does the right thing, even if it's generally because it's more convenient. But
Yeah.
yeah, Lala Freeze, he solves their problem, but the problem isn't usually what people think the problem is most of the time.
Mm.
It's kind of true. I mean, that's kind of the running joke too. Where like, I think at some point he's like, I feel like more like a masseuse than I'm a like a therapist. Like, I don't remember what he calls himself, a investigator or something, psychic. So he's like doing like saunas and massages and things like that. But anyway, Mob Psycho's fun. Uh, which we're watching more Mob Psycho tomorrow, I think. We're actually going to be finishing season 2, so that'll be fun. But I think this show has gone on long enough. Somehow we've run close to 2 hours.
Yeah, sorry, I'm like starting to get out of it. Like my energy level just tanked for some reason.
I
So
don't blame you.
I
Lala's really excited that the show's almost over. She's probably glad to get out of here. I respect that.
oh,
But yeah, we
I love
gotta.
talking about anime. It's really fun.
It is
Like
fun.
um, I've seen way too much stuff. I'm like I have this wealth of knowledge.
Yeah, yeah. 'Cause you're so much more of an anime knower than I am, at least. Like I've dabbled in a lot of anime, but that's the problem. Is like I don't finish a lot of shows. I'm starting to realize. I don't know what that says about me as a person.
It takes a lot for me to like not what do you call it?
Oh,
Not drop a show.
that's
It
fair.
takes a lot.
Yeah, and I guess for me, it's not that I drop shows. Like I always intend to finish them. I just get distracted, I guess, like because there's so many other shows to watch. Also, I like listening to you guys talk about things I've never heard of or only know the name of. That's fair. It is. I don't know. That's probably the thing I love about anime is there's so much of it, and I that's probably the problem. Is like I want to watch all of the anime, and so then I finish none of it. I like finding the obscure random stuff like Uramichi Onisan.
Though, didn't you watch like all of like so much that those one seasons?
I mean, there was when we were doing the podcast, I really buckled down and like I committed to finishing all those shows. At least a lot of the shows I started. I basically like was not quite all of my free time, but a lot of my time I was just like watching anime when we were doing the podcast before.
That was a fun time before.
That was great. I'm trying to get back into that, like not quite to that because that got pretty unhealthy to a point because I was watching like 10 plus shows a season, which is not a pace you can keep up with. Um,
Yeah, we're getting really close here to maybe like next time or the time after will be the end of the season.
that's true. So I mean, here in I guess 2 or 3 weeks, we can probably do a season wrap up. Can't talk about how things was,
Yeah.
but yeah. So I think uh, we'll possibly do another episode next week with possibly another topic. We'll find out.
Yes.
Well, I don't drop shows. I just don't start them in the first place. I assume you pushed up your glasses as you said that. So I play games too much. What anime? No time. That's fair. I used to
I
be
go
really good
through
at multitasking, but
I go through phases a lot of the time.
Yeah,
They go through a games phase, an anime phase.
that's totally fair. That's kind of true because I've done that before too, where I'll watch tons of anime, then I'll spend like 2 months just like playing a bunch of different games. But I'd like to start doing that again because there's a lot of good shows out there, a lot of good games. Just gotta. There's only so much you can do in 25 hours a day, you know.
Yeah, time is really it's hard to manage your time sometimes.
Yeah,
I feel like that a lot recently.
right. Yeah, I've been trying to like. It's a weird thing to say, like scheduling time for anime. Like I'll just like watch like an episode. Like that's what I've been doing last. At least like last couple nights. I just like I'll just watch like 2 episodes tonight, and then 2 episodes the next night, and I did that, and that worked.
I feel like that's
It's
like a great way how to do it.
just
It's
like
just maybe like one episode a night of like a new show or something like that.
right,
That way you're watching like a couple shows a season.
right. And it's just in general like I need to schedule time specifically just to relax and do that kind of stuff because I haven't been doing that super good. I don't know because I think I was talking with you about that. But like I just there's so many things I want to do, and I'm trying to do all of them at once, and that's not working super good. But we're getting there slowly.
Yeah, it's when you have a lot on your plate, kind of like just like
I can
burn
only
out
blame
sometimes.
myself.
Yes.
But this has been fun. It's fun to talk about these things, and I realize like for the podcast, at least I probably don't really talk with you all in the chat as often. My head's in the way of chat. I just realized. Oops. Um, we kind of don't interact with the chat as directly for a lot of the show, I guess, but need to. I don't know. But it is fun being able to talk with y'all about anime and get y'all's opinions on things. Since I'm just at home most of the time, I just end up playing games. I could divide that to watching something else, or even IDK doing housework. I don't know. That's housework is hard. I finally I have had to set aside a specific like I schedule like 2 hours a week where I specifically just have to be cleaning, and that's been good. At least I get some amounts of cleaning done that way. But anyway, it's fun. Time management is an adult skill for adults. Uh, develop it, believe it, cherish it.
It will come. I'm hoping mine comes sometime soon.
Yeah, I can't wait till I grow up and become responsible. It's just like that's this is like a magic switch that happens, right? At some point in adulthood, you're just like, I get it. I want to do my taxes and enjoy smooth jazz. Like it's all becoming clear. Games really are for children. I don't want to play those anymore. Is that what happens? Maybe
No. Just kidding.
I'm just like I'll just wake up one morning with like a strong urge to watch the basketball game, and I'll know I finally made it. But
I haven't watched sports in ages.
this is an aside. I've been I listen to a sports podcast actually, and that is all of my exposure to sports, and it is only loosely a sports podcast since the it's actually about people who don't know anything about sports trying to talk about sports, and it's very funny. But that's the best I guess. Like I occasionally hear the name of an actual athlete, and I'm like, I feel like I'm connected to this. It's at least enough for me to fake my way through work, since everybody I work with is not into anime or video games. They all like normal adult things. And so I can walk up to them now and be like, "Hello, fellow adult. Did
Well,
did you hear about the football game?" and how good and or bad it went depending on your favored team. But
That's like me with my brothers.
yeah,
My brothers are always talking to me about like some sort of soccer or basketball thing, and I'm just like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
yeah, it's fun. I don't know. I'm trying to make at least like some kind of an attempt to meet people halfway with those things. But anyway, I think this is enough for me. We're gonna kind of just getting rambly now. But I only went to sports when I was in marching band and had to go to the games. That's fair. But
All right.
all right, this was fun. Thanks for coming to hang out with us and talk about Husbandos.
Yeah, bro.
Um, yeah, we'll have to do this again soon, Zyka.
Yes, we will.
It's fun that we're the I don't know, if nothing else, it's just like a nice time just to kind of low key chat about stuff. Like
Yeah,
just kind of
it's a lot
hanging out.
more like less Deep Anime Dev was more structured,
Right.
I think. And I
It
kind of like this less structured.
right. It is nice. Like I mean, I don't know because there was definitely like Deep Anime Dive was fun. That was the previous podcast. That was season 0. May it never be mentioned again. Um, but I'm kidding. But but no, yeah, we had that one a lot more heavily structured, and that was fun in a different way. Just like at least for me, because I did love learning about all that different stuff. That's always been one of the more fascinating things to me as far as animation goes. But it was also a ton of work. So, Wallace says, "Bye. Your choices weren't completely terrible. Oh, thanks. I think you're pretty cool too. I guess, Lala. Um, but anyway, so yeah, I think that's it. Any other thing else you want to talk about, say Zyga? Or
Uh, Nothing really.
cool?
Maybe I'll post my my anime list, and like if you make that podcast thing, you
Yeah,
can
I could
follow
definitely.
me
I could add a
as a anime
channel
list.
where we at least have a channel there for podcasty things. So
Yeah, people could check me out if you have a my anime list account.
yeah,
You just add me on there.
your favorite website ever, I know.
Yes.
The one that you make me have, and I update it only occasionally, which I need to be better about. But
Yeah, you need to update it soon.
I'll get to it eventually. But yeah. Thanks everybody for coming to hang out. We'll
Yes.
we'll see y'all for the next podcast. I mean, I guess I'll be streaming on Saturday. I believe the rumor, and if Jen is still in chat, Jen can confirm. But we might be playing GTFO with Jen and Sajin and Smo, perhaps, which will be pretty fun. Maybe, or maybe it'll be terrible. I don't know. I think it's a hard game, so we'll see what happens. Yes, that's it. And then I think Smo is gonna be streaming the next couple of days, so you should go bother him. He deserves it. And we're gonna. It is a spoopy game, probably maybe. Yeah, so we'll see everyone later. Have
Yep.
good nights.
See ya. Goodbye.
Bye. Here's the ending button. There it is. Bye.